The structure faces north. So we're on the north side of the fence. On the east side of the house. This would be the kitchen window. Got to clean out. Got a little bit of cracking right in there. High soil. Now, water does not drain here. We've got negative drainage and level drainage. The water is not. Water's collecting here. We do not have rain gutters. Moving on along, there's a smaller crack through that brick right there. High soil conditions right in here. And some of our foundation is crumbling right in here. It's not really holding the brickwork. So this probably should be cleaned out and repaired so that it will continue to handle the brickwork. And it might be installing a lintel underneath there, or something to support the brick, because these bricks right here, they don't have any support. The planter boxes, like a lot of planter boxes, are rotating out away from the structure. That's not unusual. Not in this neighborhood. Bushes against the house, house posts. A tree should not be closer than 25 feet to the foundation, because those roots can grow up underneath the house and cause it to move. The roots can also suck the moisture. You're supposed to have a continuous amount of moisture around your foundation perimeter. Maintain that. So, and then the branches too. So, the trees shouldn't be that close. I get it. They're big. They're beautiful. You drive up to the house. It's the curb appeal. I mean, there's lots of reasons why you'd want to have trees in your yard. I mean, it's not that wild of a concept. Coming out here, we've got wood mulch. Where do termites live? In the ground. Oh, what do they eat? Dead wood. Oh, what's wood mulch? Dead wood on the ground underneath the drip line and next to your house. That's called a clue. That's called a clue. And that'll be on the termite report. Now our post, when we installed our post and came in here, and we got posts on the front and the back porch and all that jazz, and we just stuck them right down here. Right down on the concrete. These are cellulose. Just like the celery and the colored water and the dyed water and the glass science trick. You know, the water sucks up in there and rots it. That's what happens. Now these holes around our perimeter, because I think my client is more accustomed to pier and beam, but these holes around the perimeter are called weep holes. Brick is a very good building material. This house could burn down. You could rebuild it with the brick. Build another one with the brick. It's just that good. It's a great insulator for sound and heat. But it's porous. Architecture is regional, and our wood is pine and yellow fir, yellow pine and fir, and our walls are brick, and we know that. We have a drainage plane behind the walls. And then most of the time on the weep holes, most of the time you won't see anything coming out of them. They'll just be water vapor. But that's what they're there for. These are sprinkler zones. This is the sprinkler check valve. That's the water meter. These are the main water shutoff valves. I have a whole video for these. But I got a surprise for you. Okay? Stick to the end of the video. I got a water surprise for you. So, moving on along. A little bit of movement here. A little bit of movement in this window. And by the way, this is the lowest point. I didn't measure every point, but my measurements, pretty much suggest that this is the lowest point of the house. and the breakfast area is the highest point of the house. Coming along here, we have our condensing unit that's crooked. It doesn't have a rain diverter to keep water from falling off on it, but it is properly fused. I didn't know that. There's going to be a condensing unit video, but we're going to talk all about this guy. It's a video, but we did learn that it is properly fused. It's a 4-ton system, 9 years old. Cracks between the brick and mortar right in here. Kind of go from here. Kind of trace them down here. Around to here and down to there. I had to show that one off. Didn't take too much bending. Going along, portable sheds are beyond the scope of this inspection. I even got a little video about him. This is called a shrinkage crack. Right here. Some people call them corner pops. Call it what you will. I'm glad I saw it. Get my moats out. Okay, that. I'm still looking at the foundation. However, I had measured it, and it did measure well. So we're still going to be looking at other things. But this is not a foundation problem. This is a wood destroying insect problem. The Texas Structural Pest Control Board says I've got to call that conducive conditions. And this corner holds up the brick. Because remember, we have a drainage plane behind the brick. This is actually a wood frame house. So the termites can go up undetected up and get to the wood that's actually the walls of your house. So if this corner pop, this corner of this shrinkage crack, call it what you will, okay, if it falls out, it could let a couple bricks drop. So it's more of a wall problem than a foundation problem. Moving on along. Some of our windows have been replaced, and some of our windows haven't been replaced. There you got some spaces between our window frames and the brickwork. Got a little bit of high soil right here. This faucet does not have a vacuum breaker on it. These posts are in directly contact with the ground. And then we've got NM cable, exposed NM cable, exposed exterior. This receptacle's bootlegged. You have another one that's bootlegged over here. You can see the NM cable running behind it. These posts are in direct contact with the ground, you know, sucking it up. Get down in here. Oh, it's not listed as being GFCI. And it's not grounded. So, just write a note here or two. Bootlegged NM cable and receptacle on patio, southwest corner, not GFCI protected, and not grounded. And it comes over. It was bootlegged over off of here. Boy, they just love to run these wires, don't they? Something else. We got lights. Trying. No lights. Now inside we should have a patio light that works this. These lights should work something else. I don't know what they're working. But inside I'm not seeing. Those. Does that give us a patio light now? That one comes on. The yard light comes on. Okay, and then these come on. Let's turn you off. Okay. So you've got a switch light to the exterior. But it's a two-way light, so I mean it's not even two-way, it's on a... That's confusing. Because this should be a double pole switch so that you can work these lights inside or outside. And you don't have a double pole switch. You added another switch in line like Christmas lights. Moving on along. It's pretty good. One thing that we're not noticing in this brickwork that we see on a lot of homes, but back in the 70s we didn't do this so much, but we don't see control joints. So you should have a couple control joints. I mean, depending on the size of the wall, length of the wall, but you know, every 16 feet or so, and you should have a control joint. If you don't, well, it's going to make a control joint. You see this pressure? And I'm going to write on this report, I'm going to say you got cracks here, you got cracks here, you got cracks here, and got cracks here. That's true. You do have cracks here, here, here. The reason why we install control joints today is we expect the structure to move. And if you don't give it a control joint, it'll make its own control joint where it wants it. And a control joint won't save your wall. It's not the end of the world, but it helps control or mitigate the cracking patterns and stuff. You see control joints on the street when you drive down the street, and the lines that go across the street, they place the cement in sections. They put the brickwork in sections with a control joint between. And this house doesn't have it, and it wasn't required when it was built. And you know, I'm going to say that it was a. I'm not going to say that it's a deficiency, but I am going to say that you're going to get more nuisance cracks, more small cracks, more smaller cracks because of that. And over here, all this firewood was piled up next to the wall. I don't move stuff back. I shouldn't have had to move it in the first place. And I got bit by about a dozen bites on my hands and ankle from moving that wood from these little fire ants that are in there. Not termites, not carpenter ants, but fire ants. Those little monsters right there, crawling around in there after me. They were chewing me up. I was doing a war dance. Coming on along. Fence touching the house by design. Oh, somewhere I have. Oh, I just stepped in the ant bed again. How about that? Well, howdy. Pretty soon I'm going to show you that dance. Right over here. Okay, the edge flashing is not supposed to be lapped less than 2 inches. See how this edge flashing is lapped? It's supposed to be lapped like that. It's not supposed to be short like that. Are those ants on me now? Oh my goodness. Get around these guys. And by the way, a granular ant bait treatment is the best thing for those. It'll take a few days for it to take into effect, but it'll last longer. If you just spray some quick powder on it or put some quick spray on it, it'll kill them all instantly. And they'll be back the same time tomorrow. They'll be right back. So a granular bait treatment it takes some patience, I get it, because you want relief, instant relief. I just want them dead, Yeah, you can't kill them instantly. But it's not going to have a residual effect. It's not going to kill the colony. And the granular ant bait treatment will. Got a metal panel overhead door. I can't see behind this stack of bricks. I'll move a few little sticks. But no. That's conducive. All this firewood is conducive. More firewood than you can use. Don't keep it around. Snakes like this. Scorpions like this. Lousy drainage. No rain gutter, lousy drainage. Water just sits here. Just grows here. Moss grows here. This does not dry out. Moving on along, the old style windows. A little bit of high soil right here, fence touching. This is your temperature, your water heater temperature pressure relief valve drain pipe, and it's higher than 6 inches from the floor. And the way it's positioned this high, I know that there's 290 degrees, 390 degrees right there to get it down where they brought it out from the water heater closet on the other side of this window, on the other side of the laundry. And speaking of laundry, this is your clothes dryer vent, and the hood is open, and it's collecting lint. And we got a little bit of cracking right here because we don't have a control joint. Got a little bit of cracking over here because we don't have a control joint. The gas piping going into the house should have been painted so that it doesn't corrode like this. And it should have been sealed around the pipe so that moisture doesn't get inside. And this is the gas pipe. I just turned off all the gas to the house. Parallel is on, perpendicular is off. Okay? Now we come over here. Parallel is on, perpendicular is off. This is a water pressure regulator valve, backflow prevention valve. This is a nice big pipe. What does it go to? The water meter's in the front yard. The check valve for the lawn sprinkler system is in the backyard. This is too large. I just don't get it. So there it is. It's a mystery. This box should be excavated, and this box should be lined with gravel so you can get your hands around it and you can service it, and it wouldn't hurt if it was labeled, because this means a lot, you know. If this is for the house, anyway, you would need an expansion tank on your water heater if this is for the house, by the way.